exploitation case?
The most frequent suspects in a financial exploitation case are the family members, usually a child that's close to the parent. If a victim doesn't want their child who they believe to be stealing from them to be prosecuted, that would be up to them whether they're going to make a report to law enforcement. If they are classified a vulnerable adult or are deemed incompetent, there is going to be a worker who's going to make the report for them, so it's out of their hands at that point. The victim doesn't necessarily have to be present for trial unless they are going to be testifying. A defense to a financial exploitation charge is consent. So as I said before, a vulnerable adult is not necessarily an incompetent person. It could be a competent person, but they just can't meet their needs on their own. And so if there is a defense of consent and the person is competent, I would need the victim to come in and say, no, I didn't give permission for them to use my financial resources for their benefit. A victim would have the opportunity to ask me not to prosecute. I always meet with the victims to find out what their input is. If there's another way to achieve a just result, I'm willing to look at that. However, if the circumstance is so egregious that it deems this person needs to be held accountable for their actions, then the prosecution will continue. With financial exploitation cases, usually there is no bail. They're released on their own recognizance or ROR'd, or there is a minimal amount of bail depending on the circumstances of the case. If the victim or family is afraid that the suspect would harm them or otherwise harass them, there are options for no contact orders. The court can order as a term of release that the suspect has no contact with the victim and their families. The victim and their families can also take out a harassment restraining order or an order for protection depending on what they fear, but they have to supply an affidavit to support the order that they're seeking from the court.